Hey guys, Tekra, and I have some good news. My journey to level 60 has officially come to an end, and my oh my, it's been quite a journey. Um, it's been about 2 hours, 2.5 hours now since I've dinged my 60, and time spent, it says 26 days, 1 hour. It was 25 days in total. So yeah, more than 600 hours went into playing on this character, and there's a good reason for that. I spent a lot of time PvPing, and I actually had the benefit of when I dinged my 60, I've already had the Knight Lieutenant rank, so that's rank 7. And what I want to do in this video is I just want to give you guys more or less an idea of the gear that I went with, and I want to share my PvP build with you. I call it the stun build. It's quite decent, especially for when you're out there in the open world and you're farming your ore or you farming your herbs and you get attacked. The stun build will help you a lot. So first of all, I think we need to look at the gear. I still have a lot of greens from leveling. This is the Stormpike pennant that you buy from the Stormpike vendor. This is the best in socket chest for warrior in classic. This drops in BRD. This is the Sergeant Major's plate wrist guards, which you buy from the vendor outside this building. It's the Knight Lieutenant's gauntlets, which you need rank 7 to buy. Gives you a nice rage reduction on your hamstring ability, which is pretty decent. Belt of Valor, I had 2 or 3 pieces during my leveling, which were quite decent. Leggings still green. I have the Knight Lieutenant's plate greaves. The legs, I have Don Julio's band, which is the Stormpike ring. When you hit Exalted with them, you are able to buy this. It's quite a bit of gold for classic. It goes for, I think, about 60 gold. It's quite expensive. That's still a green. This is the quest you do while in Ultrach Valley, and for each objective or level that you climb, you get an upgrade. I'm not sure if there's another one. I think 6 is the max. And this is the insignia of the Alliance that you buy outside. I might eventually replace one of these two with either the Hajj or the Diamond Flask, which is, I think, best in socket. Diamond Flask, I think, is about best in socket for warrior. My weapon, obviously, is a mace, the Unstoppable Force. It's the weapon that you buy also from the Stormpike vendor when you hit Exalted with Ultrach Valley. And the reason why I went with a specific weapon is that you get, not only for the 2% extra critical strike that you get, you also get a 1 second stun, chance for a 1 second stun. My bow is still the leveling bow that I got, and what I want to share with you guys is my stun build. This is what this video is actually all about. I spend a lot of time playing classic nowadays. I do love BFA. I think BFA is a great expansion, but my warrior is unfortunately on the Alliance side, and all my friends play Horde. So when my friends play, I play on the Horde side, but I don't want to play a warrior on the Horde side because it feels like I'm betraying my warrior. So on the Horde side, I play a Retribution Paladin, which does epic damage, especially in like when you do your island expeditions and stuff. It's great to have. It's also decent in PvP if you know how to heal up and how to kite a bit. But the problem with my warrior on the Alliance side is, since I don't have any friends in BFA playing on the Alliance side, it's falling really behind. And my name, actually Tekra Fury, is because in BFA I actually play a Fury warrior. I sometimes change for arenas, I will go arms, but mainly I play Fury because it's such a fun spec, and the spec itself got a lot of love when BFA started. It's pretty decent at the moment. But let's get to the classic arms warrior stun build. I've spent a total of 32 talent points in arms. I went 2 in deflection, give us a bit of parry chance. I went 3 out of 3 with rend, because a lot of times you'll be fighting against mages and you'll be out of charges or sprints, and your rend will be responsible for doing a lot of damage to those guys. The next best thing I went with was Tactical Mastery, 5 out of 5. Now, Tactical Mastery is very, very important. It also goes hand in hand with Unbridled Wrath. This will be your little rage generator, but you need 5 out of 5 for when you're stance dancing to either defensive stance for that interrupt or disarm, or when you're going berserker rage. This is very, very important. As a warrior, you do need your second charge, especially in classic. You need your second charge for when that mage blinks away. And while you take the 5 out of 5 there, you need to take the 1 in anger management, which will help you that your rage doesn't decay almost instantly. This gives you a bit of a buff on how long you can keep your rage. After that, 3 out of 3 deep wounds. Now there's a little synergy going on here. There's a few friends holding hands with each other in this talent tree, and I'm going to show you guys now. You need this 3 out of 3, 2 out of 2 in Impale, and I put 1 talent into Overpower because it does help to proc the deep wounds. So this here is quite important. Even if you only put 1 talent in there like I did, but you need to put 1 talent. This is key for the arms warrior, these 4 talents over here. And after that I put 5 out of 5 in my two-handed weapon specialization. I thought of putting only 4, but you know, that 1% might make the difference when you up against a mage or one of those guys. That extra percentage might help you. I went the 1 talent in sweeping strikes, which they are forcing you basically. You can't get to mortal strike unless you take the 1 in sweeping strikes, so you have to take that. I put 5 out of 5 in maces, obviously because I'm wearing a mace weapon, and this is the stun build. It'll give you a 6% chance to stun your target for 3 seconds. Now 3 seconds against a shadow priest or a warlock or a hunter might be the difference between life and death for you. I also put 3 out of 3 in improved hamstring. Now I guarantee you, if there's 10,000 classic warriors, arms warriors, not even 2% of them will spec into this. But since we're doing a stun build, this will give you a 15% chance to immobilize your target for 5 seconds. So you have the stun here, you have the immobilize effect, plus you have the 1 second on your weapon chance. So that gives you a pretty good opportunity or chance to control your enemy. I went 5 out of 5 booming voice. This will increase the duration of the battle shout and demoralizing shout by 50%. The only reason why I spec'd into this, because it's impossible in Classic to keep the battle shout buff up. I mean, at max it's like 3 minutes, or it's impossible to keep up, especially when you fighting one opponent. You have to switch over to another one. So the main reason I spec'd into this was to give me the range for demo shout if I'm fighting a rogue and all of a sudden he vanishes. This will help me get him out of stealth before he gets out of my range. I went 5 points into Unbridled Wrath. To spec into this, I think actually is a bit of a waste. Improved demoralizing shout, because you should only actually use it to get the rogue out of stealth or the druid out of stealth. To actually waste the 10 rage that it costs to decrease attack power it will hurt you badly. So I went 5 out of 5. This is your little rage generator. I think you sort of killed yourself if you don't go into this. Especially since you will be spamming hamstring a lot to get your opponent immobilized and stunned. So this is important. Seeing that hamstring is not that expensive with the knight's armor, it now only costs me 7 rage. A rend is also good at 10 rage. And then I went and I've spent 4 talents into enrage, which will give me a 20% melee damage bonus for 12 seconds after being a victim of a critical strike. So a quick look, I went 2, 3, 5, 1, 1, 3, 2 over here, because that's the synergy. These 4 is the synergy. I went 5 out of 5 here. I had to take the 1 to get to Mortal Strike here. Went 5 there, 3 in hamstring, 5 in booming voice, 5 in cruelty, 5 in unbridled wrath to keep my rage coming, and I went 4 in rage to give me that bit of damage bonus. Now, very few people do this. When in Alterac Valley, even when 1v1 in the open world, you don't see a lot of warriors actually using their stance dance. That's mainly because they actually went and spec'd into something else, like the Iron Will, which gives you an extra percentage, stun resistance and charm resistance. I just feel that the Fury talents that we've taken are so much better, and you always have the opportunity. I mean, earlier today, you guys can see on my, I haven't done any battlegrounds today. I've got 7 honorable kills for today, and this was mainly battles against hunters, and this was while I was still level 59 at this point. And for the hunter especially, I do remember he was kiting very well, and I've spent all my charges, and I instantly swapped over to defensive stance, and I had my shield and my one-hand weapon equipped. I use this while leveling, I had the stone shell guard shield, which was not bad. I'm gonna get the stone pie guard shield now, the immovable object. I think that's about the best you can get if you're not raiding, or will be the immovable object. I used this Hammer of the Northern Wind, which is a 2.1 speed. It had 39.5% damage per second. But what it does is it launches a frostbolt at the enemy, which slows them down, and that aided me a lot. I'm not quite fond of getting rid of this for that reason. I'll probably get the Führer's Compendium for dragon slaying, which will give me the Quell Serrar one-hander, which is a pretty decent sword, but at this point still I'm not quite fond of getting rid of this. But stance dancing for a warrior is like, I don't want to use the wrong words here, but it's like, it's a must for warriors. You need to learn the skill right from the very start. When you have all your stances available, you need to practice this. Stance dancing is very, very important. A lot of people use free action potions and stuff. Yeah, it's decent, but it kind of defeats the point of playing a warrior. If you're using a potion, you need to be armored. You need to be able to resist whatever's coming. So I seldomly used it. I used a couple of healing potions while I was leveling up. Maybe I'll stock one or two free action potions to help me against mages. That's honestly the class in Classic that I struggle the most with. Will be frost mages, because they can just keep you at a distance if they want. If they do mess up though, one mortal strike will basically almost end them. But yeah, maybe I'll have one or two free action potions just for in case. And I'm not going to talk about macros. There's a million macros on Wowhead and other guides that you can make your own macros as well as you want. Just one other thing I want to talk about is saving your retaliation. When you're out in the open world, don't spend this. Hold on to this for as long as you can. Even if you're fighting mobs, I know it's nice for when you're downing 3 mobs or 4 mobs. At level 58 I used this and I could hold down 3 mobs easily. 4, and I'm just escaping with my life, but it's pretty decent. Save this for when you get attacked by a rogue or another warrior. Rogues in general have to attack from the back, and I don't think I'm almost sure that the retaliation doesn't work when you're being attacked from behind, but it'll force your rogue to go to the back. He won't be able to land any shots from the front without harming himself. Sweeping strikes actually is I think garbage for PvPing. I use this, but it's going out of the bar right now. I have no need for that right now. I went also with a human warrior because, well, back in the day when I started back in Wrath of the Lich King, when I started playing, my first character was a warrior. He was named Tekra as well, and he was a human warrior, and I've kept that tradition on my warrior even up to today. Even in BFA, my warrior is a human warrior, and the racials differ, but for Classic the perception is pretty decent. You can see a rogue from quite a bit coming, especially if you're up in Winter Spring farming those echoes or those fire waters. If you have a suspicion that you're gonna be under attack, well, that's gonna help you out quite a bit. But that's it for my warrior build. It's called the stun build because I won't be relying on crit mainly. Yes, I want crit for killing my opponent, but I will be relying on immobilizing and stunning my opponent, much like what a rogue does, but just with much greater impact because you have quite a slow two-hander. I've put the immune disarm enchant on my weapon. The Crusader is actually the best, but many rogues and warriors will disarm you, and that time that you're being disarmed is actually, that's the absolute difference in the battle. So I've put the steel chain on my weapon, and that'll basically keep others from disarming me. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna try and do follow-up videos as I go on, as I progress through the ranks. I'm absolutely pushing towards rank 14. I've never had the vanilla experience, so thanks to Blizzard, I've got actually the chance now through Classic to get some idea of what it was like in the original vanilla. I just want to give a big shout out to my guild, Anemnesis. When I was recruited into the guild, I was pretty down on that day. I was level 30, and the current guild, I'm not gonna say any names, I'm just gonna leave that part out. But I was pretty down, and one of the members of this guild found me and helped me, and they actually helped me to get my first decent warrior weapon, and they recruited me into the guild. And this guild has been there, and they actually helped me with a lot of questions that I had. You know, guys, what's better, this piece of gear or this piece of gear? Like, I would have never known that this is best in socket for warrior. I mean, it's a mail piece. It doesn't have the armor that a plate piece will have. I'm sure later on I'll replace it with the PvP chest from the vendor here. But I could actually see the difference that this piece of gear makes out in the open world. So a big shout out to my guild. They've always been there with advice and just cheering you up, and it's so important that when you play Classic WoW that you find a good guild. And what it's important about the guild is not only the activity and how busy they are, but you know, having good humor and the guys taking time to joke about things and have fun. When you look at Method and those guys, when they do the race to the world's first achievement, you will see that they joke around a lot, they laugh and they play, and that's what makes them a solid guild. And I have sort of like the same thing in Classic with Anemnesis, and I just want to say, like, thank you guys. It's I really felt I had a feeling of accomplishment today when I dinged my 60, and it was nice to see all the congratulations coming up in the guild chat. And I don't think I would have completed my level 60 if it wasn't for the guild and being in a decent guild. And the journey was just made much easier to 60. And I hope to to do a few raids with the guys eventually when I do all the tournaments and stuff. But yeah, for now this is it. This is my video, and I'll keep you guys up to date with how it's going along and when I'm progressing through the ranks and so on. But yeah, guys, if you liked my video, leave a like, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, I will have a lot more content coming via Classic and via BFA going into Shadowlands. And I'll be looking forward to hearing from you guys. And for this day now, this is it. I'm out, and just take care, guys, and see you all again soon. Bye bye.